They begged to be rescued from the darkness, and then I appeared, the keeper of light. I was making my way through the dark and cold forest. The light that illuminated the path was coming from my hand, but it grew dimmer by the minute. The owl told me that I must get to the top of the brightest mountain. The moon would be waiting for me there. There was a connection between me and the moon, strange and unknown to anyone. But it all started with the sun. In a moment, the sun went dark. It started to cover with dark spots, and after a while, it went pitch black. That's when the moon started giving me its light. It was very cold and slightly visible. The less the sun shone, the more people disappeared. At first, one person in each family would disappear once in a few days, and already in total darkness, entire towns would become empty in a matter of minutes. And at that moment, the light that came out of me became visible to everyone. It turned out that I wasn't the only one who received the moonlight, but others did as well. In dark times, light had become a rarity, and it brought joy. Then he appeared, the keeper of the light. He said, "There is light in this family, and this family is complete. No one has disappeared from their home. We have to stay close to the light so that we don't disappear." Many listened to him, but not everyone who had the light wanted to share it with strangers. The Keeper of Light said that the light they didn't want to give with goodwill would have to be taken away by force. That's how the hunt began. It turned out that the light from one person could illuminate a small town. The main thing is to take advantage of this opportunity in the right way. The frightened people invented special cameras with lenses that amplified the light emanating from a person. People with this gift were called simply the Fireflies. Their lives were getting worse and worse every day. After the sun, the moon began to grow dim and distant, and the fireflies began to glow weaker and weaker. Their extinguished bodies were dumped in piles that formed mountains. The fireflies wanted to live, not to be an ordinary light bulb in someone's city, and they began to flee into the woods. The people began to beg the Keeper of Light for help even more loudly. He responded and created something terrible. He called it a sniffer. It was huge, and through its strange trunk, it sucked the fugitives in. I knew it was coming for me now. It was out there, somewhere, in the dark, in the woods, trying to smell me. It's rustling and scratching behind me, so I have to run even faster. I stop for a second and let a beam of light pass through my hand toward the hunter. His eyes aren't used to such bright light. It will hold him back. The owl told me I was the last chance of this dark world to dawn. That is why I am climbing this mountain, towards my destiny. Here's the mountaintop. I look at the moon and hear its voice. It tells me that I must leave my fears behind. It asks me to do one thing. Its voice sounds sad. I am scared, But I realized that if I am indeed the last firefly, my light is the hope for those who have not yet disappeared. The moon told me to lie down on the grass, so I lay down. The moon told me to open my eyes as wide as possible, and I opened them. The moon said goodbye to me, and I said goodbye to her. My light intensified, but now it was not cold. On the contrary, it was very hot. It became hot and painful. They say the sun finally rose in the sky that day. A red sun with black craters.